Tension is growing between countries. Everything might seem fine on the surface, but political and military leaders are developing plans in case a war might break out. Everyone is on the edge of their seats wondering if something is going to happen. Countries are building up their arms by adding ships, guns, and men to their arsenals. Countries are forming alliances to ensure their safety. Germany has allied with Austria-Hungary and Italy, while France has allied with Russia and Britain. We all wait in suspense to see what is to come.
Today, on June 28th, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austria-Hungarian throne, was assassinated by a Yugoslav nationalist group called the Black Hands. The Archduke was shot dead by Gavrilo Princip in Sarajevo, Bosnia. The reasoning behind the assassination was that Serbia wanted to gain its independence from Austria-Hungary. Moments before the murder, Franz Ferdinand's car made a wrong turn. Princip was a loitering and saw the opportunity to shoot him and his wife Sophia at point-blank range.
A month has passed since Austrian leader Archduke Ferdinand and his wife has been assassinated by Serbian nationalist Gavrilo Princip. Now today, on July 28th, Austria is declaring war on Serbia in defense of their country and leader. After many wars occurring, one after another, like the Balkan Wars in 1912 and 1913, is this the beginning of a world war? It's the 1st of August 1914, and we have now decided to declare war on Russia. Though we should have confidence in our own country, we are aware that Russia has the largest army they've ever had, 1.4 million soldiers and still growing. Russia formed an alliance with France and Britain a few years back because of our threat, calling themselves the Triple Entente. Unless we act quickly, this could be very bad news for us.
This plan is the main reason why the war came to Europe in the first place. Created by General Count Alfred von Schlieffen, this plan is a designated attack on France once Russia, in response to international tension, starts to mobilize her forces near the German border. We know we are going to face a war on two fronts against Russia and France. This means that we are going to have to split our supplies and forces into two. But never fear, we are doing our best to prevent this. Therefore, we plan to invade France, defeat her quickly, and then turn our attention to Russia. Since Russia is known to be slow to mobilize, we think we have about 2 weeks to beat France before Russia is ready. The point of this plan is to secure the English channels called the Channel Ports. This is hopefully going to prevent the British from landing on this continent. The only catch to this plan is that it requires a sneaky maneuver to encircle Paris, which requires us to go through Belgium. Hopefully, we can pull this off in the Schlieffen plan.
After our invasion of Belgium over the Schlieffen Plan, Britain quickly joined the war, siding with Belgium. Apparently they have a treaty promising to defend Belgium whenever needed. This is quite a shock to us, considering this treaty was signed a while back and we did not think that Britain would actually join. Startled, we will show that we are not fazed and fight as strong, merciless men. This last weekend, Wilhelm II of Germany has stated that Britain is going to war over a scrap of paper. Still, we will best show that we are the superior country.
Life at home is very different now that the war has started. Most husbands and fathers are gone from home and out on the home front. Since most of the food in the countries are going to the soldiers, there are shortages for the people at home. Families are having to ration food and are having to learn to make good foods out of whatever is available for them to buy. Families are in constant fear of their homes being bombed and are often in and out of their bomb shelters. And the most difficult thing for the people is that their loved ones aren't home, and people are worried about if their soldier is dead, alive, or injured.
Today, on March 17th, we give you an in-depth look on life in the trenches. These trenches are infested with fleas, rats, lice, and all sorts of animals. In the morning after breakfast, the soldiers would be given chores to work on, such as fixing the duckboards, refilling the sandbags, or help drain the water from the trenches. When on the front line, the soldiers would be watched by enemy snipers at all times during the day, so they would have to restrict their movement in the daytime. During the day, they would pass time by reading and writing letters to home. One major problem that they faced all throughout the day was the smell. There could be thousands of bodies laying around because it's too dangerous to pick them up. Throughout the whole day, these soldiers would have to deal with these horrific conditions.
We have unfortunately been defeated by the Allies. We are facing the effective blockade by the British, fierce resistance from the French and British armies, and the entrance of the United States Army. Along with all these, there was starvation at home and the economy was in ruins. Therefore, the generals had no choice but to request armistice, an agreement to end war in Western Europe, negotiations with the Allies. The German army is allowed to stay intact, luckily, and is not forced to admit defeat. The armistice went into effect on November 11, 1918, and it marks a victory for the Allies. Unfortunately, we, Germany, did not win, but we are happy to have the troops home and safe from the war. Now we just have to deal with the aftermath of the war and the damage it caused our country, but hopefully everything will be back to normal soon.